All right, enough fun. Let's get a little bit more serious. Last night during the debate, I heard Donald Trump make the argument clearly as to why Senator Cruz's origin, his place of birth, could end up being a critical problem in this race. Now, hear me out. I don't think it's a critical problem. But that doesn't matter. In other words, as a point of law, I don't think that Senator Cruz is in trouble because he was born in Canada. But Trump made the brilliant point that it doesn't matter because the Democrats will bring suit, period. The Democrats will just try and muddy the water because they're scoundrels, because they abuse the judiciary as a matter of course, okay? That's what Democrats do. They abuse the judiciary. So I want to play this clip and then talk a little bit more about stuff that went on around it. Go ahead.
My friend Donald said that he had had his lawyers look at this from every which way, and there was no issue there. There was nothing to this birther issue. Now, since September, the Constitution hasn't changed. But the poll numbers have. And I recognize that Donald is dismayed that his poll numbers are falling in Iowa. But the facts and the law here are really quite clear. Under long-standing U.S. law, the child of a U.S. citizen born abroad is a natural-born citizen.
In Iowa now, as you know, Ted, in the last 3 polls, I'm beating you. So, you shouldn't misrepresent how well you're doing with the polls. You don't have to say that. In fact, until you started doing that, because that's a misrepresentation. Number one. Number two, this isn't me saying it. I don't care. I think I'm going to win fair and square. I don't have to win this way. Thank you. Lawrence Tribe and numerous from Harvard, said that there is a serious question as to whether or not Ted can do this, okay? There are other attorneys that feel, and very, very fine constitutional attorneys, that feel that because he was not born on the land, he cannot run for office. Here's the problem. We're running. He does great. I win. I choose him as my vice presidential candidate, and the Democrats sue because we can't take him along for the ride. I don't like that, okay? The fact is, and if for some reason he beats the rest of the field, if for some, see, they don't like that. They don't like.
All right. So, by the way, there was some booing that came next because Donald Trump said, what if he beats the whole crowd? What if he beats everyone here? And then the person who made that edit cut it. And the point was the people were not booing Trump. They were booing the idea that Ted Cruz beat Trump and beat the others. So it was disingenuous how that clip was made. And unfortunately, for time's sake, we're at the mercy of the person who made that clip. And I apologize for that. But Trump's point is well made. Let's say that Cruz really does well, wins the nomination. And then some Democrats go to a circuit judge and then an appellate judge and then a full en banc of whatever that appellate area is, all right, Second Circuit. They go to the Second Circuit, which is New York City. They go to a judge there, and then they go to an appeals court, and then 15 members, 15 judges, en banc it's called, and then they go to the Supreme Court. Well, let's assume that Cruz prevails. It's the headlines. It's the distraction. Let's assume that the Supreme Court agrees to hear it, but not until after the election. Do you see what a problem this would be? Excuse me. So I thought that was interesting that Trump brought this up. I think it's on point on a political sense, in the political sense. And if here's the problem, Trump's suggestion was go and get a declaratory judgment. Go to a court and ask for a declaratory judgment that this is what the law means, that I, born in Canada, of a U.S. citizen, I'm still qualified to be president. Okay? The problem with that is I don't want to go to the courts for anything. Not at this level. Okay? Because all that does is strengthen the idea that we serve under this glorious oligarchy, that we go to the throne of our judicial masters and do we have your approval for Teddy to run for president? I don't want to do that. So, and by the way, this is even funnier. Up until what, a year and a half, 2 years ago, Ted Cruz had dual citizenship. He was a Canadian citizen and a U.S. citizen, and has only recently renounced his Canadian citizenship. I think that's funny. Why didn't he keep it? Let's have a president. Let him be president. I'm president of America, and I'm a Canadian citizen. We're going to get this Keystone Pipeline going because I'm one of you, and I'm one of you. I'm one of all of us. Maybe we can merge the two countries and become the United States of America, Canada.